Welcome to the Troll Patrol live. It's a freaking Wednesday. I lose track of what day it is sometimes. Look, tonight I want to get started by talking about a few things. I'm going to go on a little rant here. Some people like my rants. Right-wingers live in a goddamn fantasy world. Do you see these three pictures right here? That's the couple that threatened the protesters with a gun. The Covington High School kid. It was at the pro-life rally at the mall in Washington, and was smirking, caught on camera smirking. So he sued. It was the Washington Post, I believe it was. CNN. They settled. I'm sure that he sued for some exorbitant amount, and then they settled for pennies. This kid has a motherfucking PR firm. They knew exactly how to play this story in order to make him a martyr to right-wingers. They live in a fantasy world. The shit they say doesn't make any goddamn sense to people that live in the real world. That's why that Kyle Rittenhouse kid, that's why they're making him a martyr. He is a patriot and a hero to them. But everything they say is false. The entire RNC, I didn't even bring it up as we were covering it. Just the multitude, the litany of just lies. It cascaded. And this is another example of it. Trump last night went to Kenosha, Wisconsin. All right, let's before we do this, let's go ahead. We'll watch the video. I've got it queued up here.
This is the oldest camera shop in the state of Wisconsin. Thank you so much. So where was that? That's right here.
So they're standing there at Rhodes Camera Shop.
Thank you for sending it.
In Kenosha, Wisconsin.
I did it. I really appreciate it.
This guy's holding this. Looks like a bound book.
Because once they had here and stuff. Yeah. Help them a lot. Would you like to say something? I did 9 years.
So what?
So this store was here 109 years. Just about the oldest in the nation doing what you did. Oldest in the state, for sure. It's fantastic. And we're going to help them a lot. I think we're going to help them a lot. Would you like to say something?
I just appreciate President Trump coming today. Everybody here does.
Owner, Rhodes Camera
We're so
Shop.
thankful that we got the federal troops in to help, because once they got here, things did calm down.
Trump is treating him like he is the owner
and our
of the
city
shop. Guess
police
what,
and sheriff
ladies
and fire
gentlemen?
departments are awesome. They worked harder than
That
you
is
can believe.
not the owner
24/7.
of the shop.
And once we said, let's go, that was the end of it. Unfortunately,
That's what I'm doing. We're in literal. The real owner of burned out Kenosha shop actually refused Trump's invitation. He said he didn't want to be on camera with him. So they got the previous owner of the shop to stand in front of it and act like he was the owner. Like, this is literal Nazi propaganda, ladies and gentlemen. We've reached a tipping point. I don't know how to combat this. And here, just as we're going on the air, I had one story pulled up on my timeline as I was going through. But then this one pops up. that Trump encourages North Carolina residents to vote twice to test mail-in system. The GOP is literally gaslighting all of us. This is going to be studied in history classes. I ain't proud of it. Tell me I'm wrong. If you think I'm wrong about this, call in. Let me know. 917-830-4359. I don't think I am. And that's one of the reasons why I fight so hard against people that want to talk about left-wing extremism. You're seeing right-wing extremism. You're seeing killings on the streets in this country at the hands of motherfucking dumbass right-wingers. Moronic right-wingers. Right-wingers are morons. Get the shirt. Link down below. People want to talk to me about left-wing extremism. All I see is right-wing extremism. I want where the fuck is this left-wing extremism? Call in and tell me where it is. 917-830-4359. Because I can show you plenty of left-wing extreme. They live in a fucking fantasy world. And if I get told by one more fucking person that this is Marxist, or that's Marxist, or I'm a Marxist, am I a Marxist? No. Do I subscribe to theories that could be called Marxist? Sure. Can any of these right-wing fucking morons define Marxism? No, they can't. They don't even know what it means. They love to say BLM is a Marxist organization. And what they'll point to as evidence for that is that the founder or the president of the actual the BLM organization, the .org chairperson or whatever, said it was a Marxist organization. I'm like, what does that mean? Tell me what that means. Tell me what about Marxism the BLM movement encompasses. Explain it to me like I'm a child, because you can't fucking do it. You don't know what that word means. You throw around words like Marxism and socialism, and you don't know what they fucking mean. You don't know how they apply to your life. Right-wingers use them as a fucking boogeyman. That's all it is. They've been conditioned like a fucking Pavlovian dog to just fucking to bark anytime they hear the words Marxism or socialism. I'm fucking tired of it. I'm tired of the misinformation. So I'm sorry if you're friends with me on Facebook and I come to one of your friends' posts and I call them a fucking moron. We're living in a time when like there's actual Nazis in the streets and people are wanting to talk to me about left-wing extremism. Go fuck yourselves. I had drifted more towards the center throughout the 2000s. But I've been driven left. Hard left. By the fact that there is no left. There is nobody representing a leftist point of view. And the people that do represent the leftist point of view. Now, don't get me wrong. There are a lot of fake leftists. There's like some neo-fucking liberals that want to act like they're the left when they're voting for Biden and shit. And politicians like Amy McGrath. Don't get me wrong. I would be happy to have her as the senator from Kentucky just because Mitch McConnell is a horrendous piece of shit. But Amy McGrath is running as a pro-Trump Democrat. Like that's a smart fucking move. How in the world does that win? Doug Jones in Alabama. If you care about democracy, by the way, I had this conversation last night. If you really feel that democracy hinges on this upcoming election, that Joe Biden is the only thing standing in the way between, like, freedom in this country going out to all-out totalitarian fascism, we're fucked. We're absolutely fucked. I'm sorry. if that is, because that seems to be, what's up, brother? Disco Rat. I love the name. But that seems to be the mentality, is that Joe Biden stands between fucking all-out fascism and continuing democracy. Would it be cool to check that out? Okay, so I've read Chomsky. So somebody gave me a link last night and I didn't click on it. And I thought about it later today, and the conclusion I came to was that, goddamn, if that was a Rickroll and I missed it, I would be incredibly sad. But also, I can't have copyrighted material pop up. So I can't click on your link. Because I don't know what it is, you know what I'm saying? But if it's a Rickroll, ooh, I love those, man. I'm a real big fan of Rick Astley. We're not just on YouTube. We're everywhere. We're on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, D-Chat. Fucking a whole bunch of shit I've never heard of before. Smashcast. I'm telling you, man. I don't know what you're trying to show me. Like I've got like a show plan. If you want to talk to me about something, why don't you call in 917-830-4359. Come into my stream and be like, here, watch this YouTube fucking clip. We're on YouTube right now. What the fuck? How you gonna do that to me, brother? Love to talk to you, though. I lost my train of thought. I was ranting about something. I don't know what the fuck it was. Joe Biden is what's standing between us and all-out fascism. We are fucked. All right, man. I'll give it a watch. We'll check it out. We'll talk about it tomorrow. I appreciate you, brother. Be sure to give us a like and a subscribe, a follow, whatever platform you're on. You're on Twitch. Feel free to call in, argue with me, tell me I'm stupid. I really only have one belief in this world, and that is right-wingers are morons. Beyond that, I'm pretty open-minded. Liberals can often be morons as well. I would need a precise definition as to what stupid is. I don't think everyone is stupid. We all have our talents. I really only know about two things in this world, and that's politics and broadcasting. Beyond that, I am pretty fucking stupid. I do some stupid shit. But on those two subjects, I'm pretty well versed. That's why I have open night, take all comers. We've only been doing this a couple weeks. You check back in with me in a few months. Hopefully, like, people are going to be coming at me, trying to argue. That's when it's good. I love it when people try to argue with me. I I love it when people call me stupid and try to make fun of me. I'll give you that. Most people are just misguided. I'm coming more and more to the conclusion that religion is an issue. Like you want to let people have their beliefs, but like all these Q motherfuckers, you go to their page and they're like hardcore Jesus bangers as well. Like there is a correlation between those two groups. There's a correlation. If you are taught at a young age to believe stupid shit without reason and logic behind it, then it's no wonder once you become an adult that you believe stupid shit without reason and logic behind it. And you can't reason people out of positions that they didn't come to reasonably. So I really think that ingraining religion in young people is almost fucking child abuse. They need to be taught critical thinking skills. I don't know. If that's what you want to call misguided, I will definitely get behind that. Exactly. You can't explain everything from the perspective of one book. Especially not a book of mythology from a couple millennia ago. Alright, let's see what we got here on the chopping block. Oh. So I haven't seen what anybody else has said about this. This is going to be the first time I've watched this. I know that it happened. I don't know.
In security footage obtained by Fox News and time-stamped Monday, 3:08 p.m. Pacific time, an 80-year-old part-time Napa resident called Nancy Pelosi can be seen slinking through a San Francisco hair salon. She has wet hair. She is not wearing a mask, but she was indoors. She was almost alone because due to coronavirus regulations, salons in San Francisco are closed for indoor services. Nancy Pelosi went inside. She can do that because she is the Speaker of the House, third in line for the presidency. You cannot because you don't have as much power as Nancy Pelosi has. The owner of the salon, a woman called Erica Kios, was furious about this. She saw the unfairness of it. She told Fox News that Pelosi's trip was, quote, disturbing and a slap in the face to people who were not allowed to work because of Nancy Pelosi. Meanwhile, our media was angry too, not at Nancy Pelosi, but at you for finding out it happened. Over at Politico, a reporter called Carla Marinucci was incensed by this.
Democrats are so fucking stupid.
Upon seeing this, is it legal in California,
me as a leftist, they expect me to have to defend them
someone in a private home or business without their consent?
I'm not going to defend her.
So it was the salon owner's fault. Maybe it was
she needs to get the fuck out of there.
It was definitely not Nancy Pelosi's
I've donated to the man that's primarying her.
Follow Nancy Pelosi carefully, you're probably not surprised by that.
Buttar.
After all, nothing matters
fuck his name
more
up
to
every
Nancy
time.
Pelosi
I'm so sorry
than
for
cold,
that.
hard science. Observable facts are her lifeblood. If she hadn't been born into a powerful political family, she might have been our generation's Isaac Newton. That's why you can trust her when she says the president's stealing our mailbox.
What?
It's not safe to vote in person. Nancy Pelosi knows what she's talking about. That's the principle that has guided her
What
career
did he
for
just
decades
say?
now. And in fact, if you watched MS, Nancy Pelosi's fault. It was a setup. And if you follow Nancy Pelosi carefully, you're probably not surprised by that. After all, nothing matters more to Nancy Pelosi than cold, hard science. Observable facts are her lifeblood. If she hadn't been born into a powerful political family, she might have been our generation's Isaac Newton. That's why you can trust her when she says the president's stealing our mailboxes and it's not safe to vote in person. Nancy Pelosi knows what she's talking about.
That's such a weird... He had to go to so much trouble to set that up, to get to that punchline. She might have been our generation's Isaac Newton. That was a stupid ass joke. Holy shit. Like, I don't know who is more laughable here on the screen. Nancy fucking Pelosi or goddamn stupid ass Tucker Carlson. This is what we have in mainstream media. And that, ladies and gentlemen, that's why you guys are watching Twitch. That's why you're watching YouTube. Because fuck this shit. Fuck these people in specific. Nancy Pelosi and Tucker Carlson. They represent everything that is wrong with our society today. That's cool that you're watching in Switzerland, man. It's kind of hard for you to understand what's going on in America from a Switzerland's perspective. Here, like I would like to actually ask you a question about that. Just because you hate their opponent for solely because their political orientations are trapped so many liberals fall into, and ironically, in doing so, they should stop calling themselves liberals. I fucking hate liberals, man. I was like, so living in Switzerland, what is the perception of what's going on with America and specifically about our election? What do you think about our election? And do you have any predictions? So one of the things that we covered last night was that on election night, it may look like Donald Trump has won, but as absentee ballots, as mail-in ballots come in over the course of, it could be a couple of weeks. It could be a couple of weeks before we know who the president is. I've got the polling up over here. I don't think that Donald Trump is going to even look like he won on election night. And my diagnosis of the article that we read last night was that they were just trying to sensationalize things in order to get shares on social media. I highly doubt that Donald Trump wins the election. I highly doubt it. Looks like he won on election night. And I'm not sure that he won't still be the president at this time next year. All right, here we go. Your perception is that Trump has reformed and cleaned the Republican Party and Biden is a puppet. So there's some truth to you saying that Biden is a puppet. There's a lot of truth to it. I don't know what you mean by reformed and cleaned the Republican Party. Trump is an absolute con man. He may win again, man. Like I'm not discounting the idea that happens. I don't see it happening because one of the things is like Hillary won the election last time. She just barely lost in a couple of key places. Joe Biden doesn't have any of a lot of the negatives that Hillary Clinton has going for her. A lot of Republicans have defected. Trump is more hated than ever, and so every election up until this point has been overwhelmingly in the Democrats' favor. So I don't see that changing with a high turnout presidential election. Every single election thus far has went. I shouldn't say that. Not every. No, man. Overall, Biden is not near as hated as Hillary Clinton. People like myself dislike Biden, but even I, man, like even I'm a little soft to him. There was a friend that I had an all-out fight with, and the fight was over Biden fucking 6 years ago. And like he added me again on Facebook, and I saw the messages from 6 years ago that we were fighting over Joe Biden in the primary of the 2016 election. This would have been like 2014, 2015. And like I was taking a very pro-Biden stance. And I'm like, wow, that doesn't seem like me at all. But he is definitely not as disliked as Hillary. And people just absolutely despise Trump. And Trump is, so I got the polls up right here. So Trump is not doing well in fucking, look, Joe Biden is up 5 points in Arizona. Arizona is usually a Republican state. Joe Biden is up 5 points. Joe Biden is up 4 points in Florida. Virtual tie in North Carolina. Joe Biden up 3 in Michigan. Joe Biden up 3 in Ohio. Joe Biden up 5 in Pennsylvania. Joe Biden up 4 in Wisconsin. But here's, like, Arizona is a big deal. But another one is fucking, like, here's Texas. Biden's only back 3 points in Texas. Texas is competitive. Trump is going to have to play ball in Texas, which he should win comfortably. So if Texas is that close, it is not looking good for Trump. A lot of that is I think this is a strategic thing. I think that's why it's Kamala Harris. I think Kamala. I'm sorry, I fuck her name up too. I fuck a lot of names up. I try to get them right. But there is a lot of that. I think the plan is for him to be a one-term president and shoot Kamala into the incumbent role come what's the next 2024. I am hoping that myself and other people on the left, like the moment Biden is elected, if he is elected, I hope that people like myself on the left organize and go ahead and get ready for a primary from the left against Kamala in 2024. I'd like that has to be what we go for. Because if you want to put pressure on a Biden administration, that's the only way to do it, is to show them that you are willing to primary them straight off the bat. Off the bat, straight. I don't know how the fucking idiom goes. Off the bat, I think that's right. Out of the gate. I honestly don't mind Kamala that much. There could be worse presidents. There could be worse people policy-wise. She's been she's been an effective senator. And see, I'm a wonk, man. I watch C-SPAN. She's really fucking good. She is really good at asking questions. She's really good at being on the dais and grilling people that they brought in before the committees. They could really sell me and people on the left, and they could really excite the fucking centrists too. If what they did was they promoted the fact that they brought on Kamala to fucking, they're gonna lead a prosecution of this criminal goddamn administration. If they goddamn Democrats will not show some backbone. But one of the things that's going to happen if they try to prosecute a bunch of people from this administration is, like, they're not going to be able to get away with their corruption. It's a different brand of corruption, but they're corrupt as well. But that it's hard to do while you've got investigations going on. That's why the centrists fucking sided with the fucking conservatives in the party to defeat the left, in order to make sure that the contractors and the lawyers and the PR firms and everything that's associated with the Democratic Party stayed in power. Because even if they lose to Trump, as long as they had the hold of the machinations of the Democratic Party, they're still making money. If Bernie had won the primary, which he would have, without the fucking voodoo shit that went on, if Bernie had won the primary, their gravy train would have ended, because his entire organization was based upon a groundswell of just small donor support. It didn't need the corporate machine in order to survive. Yeah, he's cleaned the Republican Party of people that are against him. That's not a good thing. You're saying, like, that's the shit you read in the history book when you're talking about, like, right before they're, like, getting ready to frog march people to the goddamn carts and haul them off. Man, like, it's not the left you need to wake up. It's centrists. Man, it's just like Martin Luther King wrote about. It's centrists. It's the people that want to play a moral equivalent between the right and the left. It's not the left in this country. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. I don't think much of you if you would vote for Trump. Like, I don't know how much you know about him, but I mean he's been known as a con man in this country since the fucking 80s, man. No. I don't. The fucking Democrats is run of the mill corruption, like I was talking about, like having the fucking PR firms and shit. Like when you're talking about like criminal fucking corruption, you're talking about fucking just rot. Like, you can't compare to the Republican Party. Yeah, Trump is the worst. And like, man, I'm a poor person. I'm a poor person, dude. Don't let the fancy mind fool you. I'm a poor I am a poor person. I'm from one of the poorest regions in the world. I'm from Eastern Kentucky, Appalachia. Like, we have third world fucking poverty in America, and I'm from it. Trump is harmful to me. Trump is harmful to my friends, especially. So like, I can't get behind anybody voting for him. My view is everybody that would vote for Trump, I encourage them to vote third party. Everybody that considers themselves left or centrist or whatever, I'm not going to fault you for voting for Joe Biden. I personally am not going to vote for him. I don't think. Maybe. I don't know. That's something I need to reckon with. I don't think so. My stated position up until this moment was that I would not vote for Joe Biden. I'm having some second thoughts. For some reasons. And it's not about Joe Biden and himself. It's about the coalition. There is a legitimate worry that if Joe Biden doesn't win this election, I think he will win. There's a legitimate worry that if Joe Biden isn't president, we're not going to have any more elections after this. It is very scary. Yes, they should pay for taking Bernie down, and the way you make them pay is to get Biden elected and to fucking try to primary him from the moment he takes office. January 21st, you have a primary challenger already putting their campaign together. A legitimate challenger from the left to primary in the Democratic primary. That's how you make them pay. I am incredibly worried. As I was talking about at the top of the show, man, we are living in, honest to God, fucking just a Nazi surreal world. They're gaslighting everybody. Right-wingers don't live in the real world. Their fucking reality is warped. Everything about the RNC was warped. And it's led to people like crazy-ass Laura Loomer. Other fucking QAnon motherfuckers that are getting elected to office. I
you're a
don't
Muslim
believe-
in America, you're allowed to call Hitler a great man. You're allowed to say kill the Jews. You know, so you could say whatever you want if you put a hijab on. You could say Jews are termites.
What the fuck is she talking about? But she was an internet star. Dude, it's surreal to experience it from here. It is surreal to watch what's going on, because, like, this is what I'm showing you.
The rise of Islamic terrorism in America.
This is a woman who has a chance at going to Congress.
Islamic terror.
She won her primary. She was kicked off of Twitter. She cries about the fact that she does not have her Twitter anymore.
I would say her entire loyalty and her entire focus.
We're electing clowns over here.
Welcome to Fascist Book, where free speech is not allowed. These people don't care about conservatives. They don't care about white people. They don't care about Jewish people. They don't care about conservatives.
A Jewish journalist is not allowed to be on Facebook or Twitter simply because they report the truth about...
And that's another thing. Constantly in every post I go to, George Soros. That's the fucking name. That's a fucking right-wing dog whistle for goddamn Jewish conspiracy shit. When they say George Soros, they're literally saying Jews run the world. George Soros is paying for these protests. No, motherfucker. Right-wingers astroturf things, not the left. They have to come up with these conspiracy theories because they can't comprehend the fact that something grassroots could pop up, because that's not the way their side does things. Fucking Noam Chomsky is a fucking dirty word in America, just like socialism, Marxism. People don't know Chomsky here. The only media exposure Chomsky gets is on YouTube stuff like the Young Turks. Going on leftist media. Democracy Now!, which is like a barely watched channel that maybe has 30% coverage in the country, maybe has 40%, I don't know. Very rarely did I have a TV system that had Democracy Now!, but that's where you get a dose of Chomsky. No, in this country you're spoon-fed Tucker Carlson, Meghan McCain, just horrendous right-wing propaganda all the time. Our mainstream media is full of right-wing propaganda. And then the alternative right-wing media is just toxic. And this is the representation of it. Laura Loomer.
Sharia law.
She is the product of new media on the right. Oh, by the way, somebody on my stream the other night, somebody asked me,
There is
what I was smoking, and I'm like, marijuana. The internet is a blessing and a curse, man. I fucking love it, but it's also, the golden age is past. There's some toxic shit here on the internet. Man, I'd give anything to go back just for a couple of days and spend a few days in 2011, 2012, and go back to trolling people when I can call people dumb fucks on Facebook, first of all. It's cool that I can do a stream and say whatever the fuck I want to, but I can't call somebody a dumb fuck on Facebook. There is no such thing as hate speech. That's what Laura Loomer says. I forgot the point I was making.
such thing as hate speech. There's no such thing as hate speech.
So somebody asked me what I was smoking. I told him I didn't know the strand. My dude gives it to me. I'm not a fan of Facebook, and Facebook is not a fan of me either. We are off of Facebook. This show is on YouTube, Twitch, DLive, Smash TV, fucking a whole bunch of other shit I have never heard of before. We're in all kinds of streaming services. We are on Facebook as well, though. If you're watching on Facebook right now, give us a shout out if you want to. Call in 917-830-4359. Tell me I'm stupid. I would love it if somebody tells me I'm stupid. Oh. I'll tell you what, let's do this. Just because I was fascinated by the picture, I don't normally... This is not my sort of story I would cover. I'm into politics. But man, just this picture of Ron Jeremy, it really kind of fucked with me. It's like I've totally seen that man's dick. It's wild. This son of a bitch may spend the rest of his life in jail. So the thing that goes through my mind is like, why does Ron Jeremy need to go around assaulting people? There's plenty of women that would like ride the pole just for the fucking just because it's Ron Jeremy. I'm sure he had no problem getting women, so what, like... So that goes back to rape has to be about, like, power and control and shit. That, like, it had to turn him on just to fucking have control over somebody. That's fucking... That's some shit that's fucked up in our brains. I also kind of, like... I sympathize with Ron Jeremy because he and I have the same hairline. It has to be a power trip thing, because it's not like women can't fucking like wouldn't be throwing themselves at him just because it's fucking Ron Jeremy, and he was still working, wasn't he? Like up until a few years ago, I saw a picture of him. He was in a wheelchair going to like the AVNs or something, like in 2017. Let me see if I can find that again. He was looking all raggedy and shit. Yeah, so apparently that was him going to the AVNs around 2017. And they were actually warning people. They were warning people about him being there. Like, he just turned into a pervy old man. Get the fuck down. Don't look at me like that. Get down. There was a cat on some of my very expensive equipment, so I can't, but like, I'm gonna have to take a second here because this is fucking with me. I've seen that man's dick. It's big. God damn. This isn't normally me. I'm a politics guy. I like to talk about politics. I like to do political analysis. I don't look like the kind of guy that's going to come on a stream and do fucking hardcore political wonky ass analysis. But I'm going to. And I'm going to do political analysis, and I'm going to do it while I'm fucking dropping F-bombs and saying goddamn a lot. But every now and again, we're going to have fucking... look at fucking rapist ass Ron Jeremy and just being fucking, we're gonna be gobsmacked at how fucking crazy he looks. Also, like, I have his hairline. Goddamn. Oh, but somebody asked me what strand I was smoking. I said, I don't know. My dude gives it to me. It's whatever it is. He tells me. But I never pay attention to what he tells me it is. As I was getting some out to grind some up, I noticed it had RD on it. So I'm assuming the strand is Red Dragon. That's a common one he's been giving me here lately. So just in case anybody else is wondering what strand of pot I'm smoking, it's very pretty too. It was very... I could see what was called Red Dragon. It had a lot of red hairs in it. Fucking Ron Jeremy. But like... 20 more counts of sexual assault and groping against him. A whole bunch of other people came forward after he was already arrested for the initial 8 counts. So 28 counts in all. He's pled not guilty. So we'll see if this actually goes to trial. Once again, if they offer him a plea deal... I mean, how old is Ron Jeremy? Let's find that out. He is 67. So you can't imagine he has much longer left. Especially like, surely he's gone hard at fucking life. He was a fucking porn star. But then again, I know people that went hard at fucking life, and they're still kicking. I got a friend that's got a hardcore granny. She's still kicking. She went hard at life. So I don't know. But at 67, the prospects of dying in jail if you get an incredibly long sentence. I can't imagine he wouldn't snatch up whatever plea deal they threw at him. Let's see, what else we got here? Oh shit, let's do this. So a congressman had his Facebook post removed. I think he's a Representative Clay Higgins. So I wanted to, let's see if we can find the actual ad. I was hoping it would be in the Higgins. I want the actual ad. I just keep finding news stories. And that's another thing. I think there's a whole business of like ads that are popping up that are meant to be controversial just so that they get into the news cycle. This is not good for democracy. This is not good for our society, just to be like inflammatory and lying in your fucking ad just so that you get news coverage. I don't know what you mean deserve another chance. Dude, man, like you're saying that to me, but like I've been the like one on the front lines. So I was in high school when 9/11 happened. I was a senior. And I went hardcore on American imperialistic bullshit up until around about 2003 when we invaded Iraq, and I started finally listening to some leftist voices that were anti-war. And that's what set me on my path as a leftist. And I've been fighting against the U.S. imperialist state. and our fucking foreign policy. It's abhorrent. And I tell people that all the time. The U.S. military is the #1 terrorist organization in the world, hands down. But I mean, that's like saying, like, the Jews deserve the Holocaust because Germany had been fucking around for the first part of the 20th century. You know, like, we're rapidly heading towards something that's going to be, like, incredibly dark and dangerous. And that's it. So on the one hand, like, fucking, I don't believe the U.S. propaganda about China. I have friends in China. China's like, they're really big on workers' rights now. They've really, they've turned around. They're trying to go green, but like, there's a lot of things about China that's fucked up as well, man. Clearly, I am a fan of free speech, and throughout history, that's not been a luxury afforded to many. And I'm not. Say Trump wins another election. That for sure limits my ability to be able, because, like, okay, you're watching me on a stream right now, but I've worked in actual media for 20 years. I'm making a go at being a YouTuber and a streamer now just because I say fuck you to every boss I ever had. There's terrible things about China. There's terrible things about the U.S. I would like to take the good things from China and the good things from the U.S. I would like to take our freedom of speech. I would like to take worker rights and protections. But this accelerationist idea that, like, Donald Trump will accelerate us into something, into a new revolution. I honestly, we're headed for another civil war, and it's mainly because our media would rather have a civil war than a revolution, just because they would lose power in a revolution. And that's not my quote. That's a very awesome thought. I read that somewhere. It might have been a tweet. It might have been in like a Politico piece or something. But it's true. We're heading for a civil war when we could have had a revolution. It's sad though, because it's gonna be a race war. It's gonna be a class war. It really is, man. I wish that really was my thoughts. I wish I could give credit to who I read that from, but it's a really good quote. I really want to watch this. I really
Cowardly Clay Higgins.
Well, this is clearly not his ad. They wouldn't be calling Clay Higgins cowardly. Hold on, let me go to YouTube here. I want to watch this fucking ad before we wrap it up for the night. Oh, it's not an ad. Okay, it was a Facebook post. The use of force against armed protesters has been removed. We don't care what color you are. We don't care if you're left or right. If you show up like this, if we recognize threat, you won't walk away. Have your affairs in order, Higgins said. I'll drop any 10 of you where you stand. What's this motherfucker look like? Yeah, of course that motherfucker looks like that. Holy shit. Hold on. I want to see more of this motherfucker. Looking like some fucking jarhead. He should be teaching high school algebra or some shit. Alright, it's getting about that time. So you know what it is. Go ahead, light one up, tip one back. It's alright to have a little fun before you hit the sack. I'm Justin Freakin. We'll see you tomorrow night on the Troll Patrol. Live.